Hey there, welcome back. Now this is our general lecture. In this particular lecture, I will be discussing about few important advice and also about requirements.txt. So the first thing I'm going to do is jump onto my terminal and do pip freeze. Now these are the libraries, these are the packages that we were using during our complete project. Now, if I need to share this project with someone, or if I need to share or deploy this project somewhere, I need to tell them that these are the packages that I'm using. And that's where requirements.txt come into picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a requirements.txt here, and I'm going to save all these packages along with their versions. So if anyone is going to use this particular code base, this particular project, they know that we are going to use this Django REST framework 3.12.2, or we are going to use this simple JWT for 4.6.0 or any other. So this is pretty important. So all you have to do is pip freeze, make sure you are inside your watchmate, that is your project folder, and your virtual environment is activated, and then your symbol, and all you need to do is your file name, that is requirements.txt. If you see behind the scene, I have created a file. Let me jump here, and this is the file, and these are all the packages that we are currently using. So if by any chance I am going to share this project, they know that we are going to utilize these packages. Now one important thing is, when we are trying to deploy anything, maybe we are going to deploy this on AWS or DigitalOcean or Heroku, we also need to share this information to them. AWS knows that we are going to utilize these packages. This is the Django version, or this is the Django REST framework version. So this is pretty important. Now there are a few other advices. The first thing is, if you are trying to add this project in your resume, or maybe you are trying to push this project on your GitHub, make sure to add information. Make sure to add description about this project. Make sure to create a 60-second or 50-second video, a sample video of how this project is going to work. Or make sure to add a readme that this is the project. You first need to create a user, you then need to create a streaming platform, then movie, or some basic details. So anyone is going to check this in your resume, they have idea about this project properly. The second thing is, if you jump onto your views right now inside your watchlist app, this looks a bit messy, a lot messy actually. So we are currently importing this model, then each model individually. Now this is a good habit when we have multiple model fields and we don't want to get everything. But at this point of time, we have written everything and we are actually adding everything. So if I just open this serializer file, you can see I have 3 serializer, and inside this view I am importing all 3. Then if I talk about this throttling, if I open this throttling, I have these 2 throttling classes and I am importing both of them. If I am importing this pagination, I have these 3 and I am importing all 3. Now here, instead of importing all the individual elements for this pagination or throttling or serializers, what we can do is we can import them all together. So what I mean by this is, let me remove this, all the serializers, and instead of importing all the individual one, what I can do is I can use import serializers. Now I can access all the files, all the classes from serializers by using dot, then the class name. So suppose here we have our serializer class. I can use serializers dot, then here we have access to our review serializers. Now we can do something similar for our permission class. But remember, when you are doing this, you need to do this for every single serializer. So I need to do this here also. Then again for all the serializers that I am using here also. So you need to take care about this. Otherwise you are going to get lot of error regarding import. Now I need to do something similar for my permissions, similarly for models, similarly for throttling as well as pagination. If you do this for every single one, the import will be much clearer to understand. At this point of time, this looks a bit messy, but the impact is exactly the same for both condition right now. The thing is, suppose if we have maybe 100 paginations, a 100 paginations class, and we are only utilizing these three, this makes sense. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to import all the 100 classes on our views.py. It is going to take extra load. But here we just need 3. This makes sense. Suppose if there were 100 classes, we only need 3. It makes total sense to just import these 3. Now at this point of time, we only have these 3 classes. So instead of importing all the 3 elements individually, what I can do is I can go from watchlist underscore app API, and then I can directly import my pagination. Remember, you need to change all the imports inside. That's it. Let me reverse back all the changes. So that's the thing that you can do. This will make your import much easier to read. I will add a screenshot what it looks like after cleaning up all this thing. So that's it. That's the major point with these import. That's it. Our project is completed. I hope you got the idea. Make sure when you are trying to push, if you don't want these commented code, you can remove them. But if you want, you can add them. I was creating a tutorial. I was creating this course. So I am adding all these comments in our resource file. Otherwise, there are chances that I would have removed them earlier also. So make sure if you want, you can keep them. Otherwise, just clean up the file and then push onto your GitHub. That's it. I hope the complete project was helpful. If you want to implement some creativity, make sure to add new features and make sure to tag me on Instagram, maybe Twitter or anywhere else if you have completed this project with a screenshot or maybe with a message. Thank you for following. I hope you had great learning session throughout the project, throughout the Django REST framework journey. Thank you for following again, and I see you guys in the next one.